I love when life is consistent, but I hate standing still. There's a very famous German singer called Herbert Grönemeyer. In one of his songs, he has a line that says, "Stillstand ist der Tod," which means standing still is death. But somehow, moving on always is something negative, because we move on from relationships, we move on when we got fired, we move on when somebody dies. But I think moving on is something very healthy. It's in the word, removing. Stay Curious, the name of my channel, is basically also being on the move all the time, because you cannot feed your curiosity when you're not moving and you're not going out. Why am I talking about that in this video? I'm about to move on from my apartment, from my Hollywood apartment I have been in here with my wife for the past 4.5 years. Having an apartment for me here in Hollywood was a big thing. I'm born in Switzerland and grew up in a little city called Talwil at the lake of Zurich. So for me to have an address which has Hollywood Boulevard in it was a really big thing. And I'm a lot like my mom, and my mom never left Talwil. She lived there her whole life. And I thought I am a little bit like her, so I will stay there also my whole life. It turns out I'm a lot like my mom when it comes to creativity. But I'm also like my dad, who was born in Vienna and grew up there, and then came to Switzerland when he was about 17 years old. Professionally, I started out in my early 20s in Swiss television. I was a picture editor, and then later moved on to being a journalist, and then wanted to become a fictional film director. I did my first film in Switzerland, but Switzerland is a very small country, and somehow, if you wanna, at least at the time, today it's a little bit different, at the time when you wanted to build your life consistently working as a film director, it was almost impossible. So I decided to move to Germany, to Berlin. Berlin changed everything for me. For the first time in my life, I felt free. Free as a creative, but also free as a person. In my day job, I am not a YouTuber or content creator or whatever you want to call it. I'm a fictional film director. For 2 decades, I directed a lot for German television. And after that 2 decades, I felt I want to move on. I want to experience other stuff. I want to be inspired again. So I came to Los Angeles with an idea and a plan. And I say specifically not a dream. Of course, it's also a dream, but I really had a plan. Because I'm too old for just going and pursuing my dream. I need to have a plan. The big question is always, how good is my plan? But actually, I think that is not the question. The question is, how good am I in adapting if something doesn't work out according to the plan? And when is the moment to totally move on from your plan and create a new plan? My wife and I got this apartment on January 5th, 2020. It's a small apartment, it's nice, it has a beautiful view, and it's directly on the Hollywood Boulevard. Not bad for a kid from Talwil, right? But plans are also being crossed, because you cannot plan everything. Sometimes stuff happens, life happens, and you have to adjust your plans. And my plan was to get a visa, get an apartment, find an agent or manager, and getting a job. See, I made my hobby or my passion to my profession. So for me, the hard part is always, what do I do with my free time when I'm not shooting a film? Because I'm actually doing as a profession what I would do in my free time if I would have another job. I hope that makes sense. That's one reason I started this YouTube channel, so I can do what I love most. And I can do it now when I'm not working. And with the past 4 years, with COVID and with the riots and with the strike here in Los Angeles, it was just hard to work in my profession. And once more, I have to adapt. Because I'm spending the next few weeks in Europe anyway, because I'm researching my next film, I decided to move on. Move on from this apartment.
It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Anyway, moving on from this apartment is not easy. Because, it represents so much of my life. It represents chance and hope. It protected me during COVID and the riots and everything that happened in the last 3 to 4 years. But it also became a place of standstill. And that's why It's time to move on. My plan did not work. Did I fail? No. I made a plan and stuff happened. You have to adapt. That's life. This apartment represents also change. I found new friends. And again, I decided to start a YouTube channel. A lot of writing, shooting and editing happened here. I spent nights and nights looking at the city and thinking about what to do next, what to create. And you know, sometimes not having a plan is the plan. Setting things in motion, that's the plan. I gifted away my chair and my TV, some of my furniture, and the rest I will pack into my car, which will go into storage until I come back in a few weeks. I need to be not standing still, and I'm very curious about what comes next, which pictures I will shoot, which stories I will tell. So, if not yet happened, hit that subscribe button and follow along. If you're interested in how I became a Leica photo shooter, check out this video next. Or I see you in the next one. Until then, keep moving and stay curious.
I hope you had the time of your life.